Hello, 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 and welcome to Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you exclusive news, breaking the rumor and innuendo, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, NXT, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, the whole shebang. I'm your host, James J. As always, my co-host, the heart and soul, Kaliko Yachts.
With my beer in my hand, I feel like the man. What is going on, James?
Cooking one time already.
mm. Actually, I've been on beer a little bit. I know, trying to get my beer tasting
Res-
on. We're in the second biggest beer per capita in the world. Why not?
Respect. Well, I'm up in I'm closer to wine country, so but yeah, why not?
Exactly. Can't go wrong with a nice little cold one.
And it is a great day for wrestling. Might not be a great day for Gypsum Thunder Liger fans in America. Last
Yeah.
week in San Jose, Gypsum Thunder Liger had his last match in the United States. Uh,
Ah,
what has what has Thunder Liger meant to America? He's been wrestling here in WCW for so many years.
I mean, to the older generation, he would be more known for the WCW Cruiserweight division. I would say, like anyone who's 80s and up, it's Cruiserweight division all the way, WCW. For the younger fans, they probably just remember the NXT versus our guy
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
It's true, but if you've ever watched New Japan Pro Wrestling, as I'm sure a lot of our viewers have, uh, Thunder Liger's always been there. He's always had a match on the card, whether it was a big match or a minor match.
Yeah, internationally, he's more known as the New Japan guy. You could make an argument he's one of the faces of New Japan. I mean, and when you think about Japanese wrestling and its influx, he, especially into the American mainstream, I would put it, he was in the Mount Rushmore. So you got Muda, Liger, and in my pick, yes, Jushin Thunder Liger. And
Shout out to Kaliko-san.
I personally, I'd say Ultimo Dragon, me, because I always thought he was a good guy. At
Wait, before or
eh,
after he tripped on the stage of WrestleMania?
who Ultimo?
Yeah.
Before WCW Ultimo Dragon.
Okay.
WCW Ultimo Dragon was the shit. Like it wasn't even close. Uh, so what?
You got
Muda,
Muda,
Liger,
Liger, Ultimo.
Ultimo, and the last one maybe Kabuki, the great Kabuki. Kabuki-ish, if you will.
Well, I was thinking, the guy that founded New Japan. What is his name?
Oh, Antonio Inoki.
Antonio Inoki. Just because he founded New Japan, and
But I get that. Okay, yeah, because he founded New Japan. I just feel the younger audience, there's a gap where people don't probably won't know who he is.
true, but like they should know that name because he's the reason you're watching that wrestling show, in a way. I mean, it's just
That
like
that's
you.
true.
If you watch WWE, you know Vince McMahon is the owner and ran it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, it wasn't like there was this overwhelming, oh my God, Inoki, you know what I mean? So
uh, true, true, but in Japan, I have to assume that he's a little bit more highly regarded. But yeah, I think Anoki should be up there, Muda, Lago, and the last one's hard because you got Giant Baba, you got Bruiser Brody, you have Terry Funk
Bruiser,
even.
no, Bruiser Brody's more of an American. He's more known in America. He's an American guy. So yeah, no, he's not on there.
I know Vader was pretty popular over there. They love their
True.
they love their gimmicks over there.
Yeah, that's true. But I also looked at when I was thinking it, I was thinking like Japanese stars that came to America, not the other way around. Because everybody knows Vader was more known, and I mean Bob Sapp was fucking more known in Japan, than America. You know what I mean? So it's not too far fetched what you're saying.
Right. And now from a good feel good story and the last match of Liger in America, a not so feel good story. Jordan Miles, aka ACH, quit WWE.
I I tried to wrap my head around this whole thing, and I can't. I just don't get it. Like I get why he was. I get what his whole premise was as far as like why he was doing what he was doing. But long term, he didn't help himself out by quitting via Twitter. Because, I mean, if anything else, like if the company's shitting you bad, you always want to handle it with professionalism, right?
Right,
Because you want to, because that bridge, that bridge you may not have to cross, but you might need that bridge to get to another destination. You know what I mean?
right.
So it kind of like screws him over because it's not like, I mean, he'll be good. He'll be in the Indies, I'm pretty sure, but there's already reports like AEW's not touching him. Um,
I wouldn't honestly
ROH
blame him.
ROH might get him because they need stars like that. So I'm thinking ROH Impact
I don't.
maybe,
I don't
but
think in a Ring of Honor because he burnt that bridge down. I think because he in his first rant he trashed Ring of Honor.
so all he's got is Impact and Indies. So I mean, but I'm not a guy to tell a guy what to do. If he's firm in his belief of what he's believing, I mean, more power to you. I mean, I'm not here to tell him what to do, but in a sense where it's almost like if a person leaves the UFC, yeah, they could go anywhere, but there is a global recognition to UFC. Same way with WWE, there's a global recognition there, and you had your chance, and you know whether people always shit on WWE or and talk about their creative and how they treat superstars or whatever you want to say, WWE is the pinnacle of where you want to be in professional wrestling because you want to be able to have a global recognition and get paid with your name and likeness. So it's kind of bad on him.
I, I mean, if it was a creative direction or something of revolving around his character and how he's perceived on TV, I could understand why he would want his release in, but I mean, it was for a T-shirt, and I get that it was a very controversial topic and subject, and but was it that? And I'm not going to say that big of a deal, but was it that important to quit the company, the biggest company in the world for?
Well, the issue with that is we were basically going off hearsay with it because it's like you got his side of the story saying, "Oh, they did this shirt and blah blah blah, and it's blackface, and I didn't approve it, and whoop whoop whoop." But then you got WWE going, "Yeah, we went to you, and you said you liked it." So it's one of those things where it's like you're really not gonna, unless someone provides the receipts of what happens. It's just gonna be this thing where it's like a line of gray ambiguity, and I mean that's basically where it's gonna remain.
And if this was just like a contained situation with WWE, I would say, well, it's on WWE, it's their bad. Uh, but it seems like this is the second company that he's like burnt that bridge down with. Obviously, the second being Ring of Honor. Do you think this is more of a him problem or the companies he works for problem?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I was told in the military. One time it's an occurrence, two times it's a pattern. And 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 the thing is like WWE didn't even make this a thing. He made it a thing by
Right.
calling the company out. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not like WWE was like, "Oh my God, we got this shirt and it's awesome," and then there was no critical backlash from the people about the shirt. Like that would be one thing. But if the star is getting upset about the damn shirt and putting the company on blast to get this cancel culture to kind of rail against them, it it, it didn't serve anyone's interest because it's not going to get him paid. It's not going to get him paid off merch. It's not going to get WWE paid off merch, and that's a lose lose for both.
I think you put it the best way, Kaliko. The first time it's an occurrence, the second time it's a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, so now it's pretty much like, what? Where the hell is he gonna go? I mean, AEW is not gonna touch that. ROH ain't gonna make him come home, although that would make more sense. So all he's really got is Impact and Indies. Maybe he could do some PWG ish, or maybe he's done wrestling. We never know.
I don't think he's done wrestling, but his options are limited. And just to WWE on their side of the story, just don't make shorts with faces on them.
I mean, for the most part, like when it comes to like merch like that, I I get it because sometimes I would, me personally, I would think if a person is making money off merch, certain top stars has a have a say in the design of the shirt. I would think most stars would have a say in the design of the shirt because
Right.
technically it's a marketing thing for them to maximize a profit for not only WWE but for themselves as well. So why, you see what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing I have the hard thing to hang my head around. It's like you got upset with the shirt, but I would think, wouldn't you have an input with that shirt? I mean, and I could go back to the Pac when Neville was there and they had a junky shirt and he kind of complained about it. So I can see the point where maybe certain stars don't have a say into it. Like, it's not like Stone Cold Steve Austin where he had a say in every fucking item that he had. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would think they would have some kind of a minimum input into it.
At the very least, they approve the designs that they make.
Yeah, because you're walking out to the ring with the fucking shirt. I would think you would get. I would think that would be some kind of approval.
Exactly. Uh, yeah. Really, weird situation. I don't think anybody's anybody quit WWE over a T-shirt, but I might be wrong about that.
Not that I know of. I mean, I can see creative differences. I can see people who actually want to wrestle and don't want to be in the catering in the back. I totally get all those things. I'm not, I mean, if you really feel that's your passion, you go for it. I'm not going to tell, who am I to tell someone, what to do with how they make money and how they put food in their mouth? You know what I mean?
But
But I would have thought like something like this. I feel like something like this could have been solved without the pomp of like social media attention to it.
oh, without a doubt, without a doubt, it 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 was just definitely just not. It was not handled well on either party.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that like WWE gets people who like try to vouch for them because everybody's gonna be like, of course you're fucking. I mean, it's a lose lose for them because they're gonna be like, of course you're gonna fucking vouch for them. You're fucking WWE. You get paid by WWE. So either way, no one to me wins, and that's just what I think personally. But I mean, I could be
But
wrong.
from another bad thing to another good thing, CM Punk is back on WWE TV.
Yes. Hell has frozen over though. It is official. Hell has frozen. Because Jesus, no one thought this. In my wildest imagination, and a lot of people may not believe it. Not, I am the biggest CM. I am a CM Punk psychophant, man. Like he is my dude, and just to have him there, I watched when he was there live. I watched the embedded when they had his ass like talking about it because I mean everybody's gonna say, well, he's not back with WWE. He's back when he's getting paid by Fox, and I feel that's actually a better move for CM Punk because of the simple fact that he doesn't have to deal with Vince, and yet he's still under the WWE umbrella. That's a win-win for both. And people call him a sellout because he
What?
went back.
Really?
Yeah, there's people literally call him a sellout because
But
the
they
whole notion, and I will say this because the whole
but they
notion
show
is
his
that,
name every single time they're on TV.
yeah, but the whole notion was that they thought he was going to go to AEW. But the thing is, I think he doesn't want to wrestle. He doesn't want to wrestle, and to me, this suits him well. It's a good way to get his foot in the door, to get them talking and to warm things up as far as maybe a match or whatever. But I don't see him doing anything full time. I don't. I just see him doing this show as a show. But hell, the Warrior came back. It's funny. Everybody that fucking has issues with WWE, they always fucking come back home. It
I mean,
it
look at Bruce
never.
Pritchard. He pulled a gun on a motherfucker, and he came back.
Yeah, anything is possible. And
Bruno
they literally
Sammartino.
say any San Martino, Hogan, Warrior, Savage. Well, Savage is still a
Not
little
technically
there.
Savage.
Uh, Angle, like uh, shit. Everybody's gonna come home eventually.
All
Like
roads lead to WWE.
it does, and that's it. To me, I think as much as people shit on like with the ratings or whatever, right? With the Wednesday ratings, NXT may have lost, WWE may have lost the ratings on Wednesday, but they won the fucking week with CM Punk coming back.
Oh yeah.
They won. They won the fucking week because they nabbed literally the biggest. That's the biggest free agent anyone could get. So they got, even whether it's Fox or whether it's whatever. The fact is he is on a WWE platform show for the WWE product. So for everyone to say, well, he's not with WWE, he's with Fox, that's besides the point. The point is that AEW can't get him. That's the point.
And I mean,
Is that
you could make the same
that's
argument when like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff went to TNA. They wasn't on. They were getting paid by Spike TV, not TNA.
right? But people will still say it. But I say that's checkmate
Oh yeah,
for WWE. That is the ultimate checkmate because and they can't say it isn't because Shell. How many times the Young Bucks been trying to get that dude?
oh yeah.
How many times Khan tried to get him? Like
For,
so it
Forget just AEW. The wrestling world in general have tried. They've tried to offer him millions upon millions of dollars to come to their companies, and he always refused.
yeah. And the one he comes to is he's gonna make the most money and he doesn't have to wrestle.
Right?
That's huge for a guy like him.
And I think it's just great that the door is open now to have that conversation with Vince or Triple H. And, I don't know if you saw the interview he did at Starcast, but he seemed pretty open and relaxed to the idea of talking to them again. And
Yeah, yeah.
so, and WrestleMania is right around the corner, so we'll see.
It proves that old adage, time heals wounds. It
And to
it,
all
it
those,
does.
I mean, to all those people that said, "Oh, he's never coming back. It's never going to happen. He hates WWE." It, well, that when he left in what 2013? Yeah, it was 2013. Hey,
2014, wasn't it?
14? Yeah, you're right, 14. Like when they said that he left, I was like, he'll be back. Sure, it took 5 years. Honestly, I thought it was going to take a whole lot of longer than 5 years.
Yeah.
But I
I
knew he
mean,
was going to be back. They all
I
come
mean,
back.
they all come back. Yeah, you can't as much as people say, "Oh yeah, he ain't coming." Cuz I mean, Punk seemed like the dude like he would burn that bridge, but the thing is even with him burning that bridge, time heals everything. Like time goes on, people get older, people get wiser. It's not, they're, what they prefer is not the same anymore. Their perspectives change. And that's true for WWE and that's true for CM Punk. I feel like CM Punk and them probably have to get something straight with maybe a Triple H because I think that was his bigger gripe. I think his
Yeah,
bigger gripe was with Triple H than CM Punk. But I don't think this, and even with Triple H coming out recently and saying, "Hey, it's not off the table." I mean, hell, we time goes, time moves on. We get different perspectives, and that's usually how it goes. And hell, I'm just glad he's back. Period. Like, there's a lot of
right.
people like shit. Like, that's a big fucking deal to me. I loved CM Punk. I was this the best in the world. And for the audience that are younger, just look up the 2010 Royal Rumble. He stole that. He should have won the Royal Rumble just based off that. But I digress. But but
Like you
that
said, even though some of these superstars um, burn the bridge down, luckily for Vince McMahon, he has great contractors that can rebuild the bridge in a good amount of time.
yeah, I mean that's practically what happened with San Martino. I mean he basically was like fuck WWE and slowly but surely Triple H kind of got him over that hump. I mean Warrior. I mean that was pretty much you
That
couldn't get if you saw what Warrior did to them and what Warrior was doing and
Oh
what
yeah,
Vince did to him after, like it'd be like hell no that ain't happening, and
yeah.
it happened. Same with Punk. Punk straight up just left and didn't come back, and got his contract termination on his wedding day. Like you would think like this stuff, but uh, every time we say no, they all come home.
What?
They all come home. So,
All right,
but I'm happy.
and
So I'm happy. I'm happy. Fuck everybody else. I'm happy. As a CM Punk fan, I'm fucking stoked.
like like I said, it was a great day for wrestling,
Yeah.
and it's also we will also be covering later tonight, right? Week 7 of the Wednesday Night Wars. Lots of interesting stats on that. But first, we will be wrestling with AEW Full Gear. This is the 5th pay preview from AEW as of right now.
Feels like longer.
But right there tells you we've only been in this. AEW's only been a thing for a year, and it always feels like they've had too many paid previews.
True, but I mean that's a good thing for them, man. I mean, this was their first official like story build pay per view. Vice, something like uh, All In or All Out or Fight for the Fallen or whatever the hell
Wasn't
you want to call it nowadays.
casino themed.
Yeah, it wasn't casino themed. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm still I'm still looking forward to that Caesar's Palace sponsored by Little Caesars.
That is true.
So
Massacre at the Mandalay.
and as a whole, the whole show, the entirety of it, which was 2.5 hours, what did you think? 3.5 hours, my bad.
Um, I thought the show for what it is, it was a good show. I think it was a good show. People are still clamoring for it because it's the new thing. I feel like a certain match kind of hijacked the main event due to its brutality. But because the way like it kind of put some people in a position like how the hell I'm gonna follow this type shit. But other than that, I had no complaints with the show.
That's pretty good considering that we've had some issues covering the AEW paid previews previously.
I mean, yeah, but I also think it's like they're trying to do this thing with Bleacher, and I get where they're trying to get at with it. It's just, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, and that's another thing that kind of killed them. And they did 100,000 buys, which is not it. That ain't shit to scoff at. 100,000, that's pretty fucking good. Especially considering that's your first paper. Well, considering that's your first like, and it wasn't their first pay per view, but it was their first like storyline pay per view, and it tells you that it gets the people. The people are still into what is happening with AEW. Personally,
Well, I heard that they wasn't happy for those 100,000 buys. I heard that they felt it was kind of a disappointment. I mean,
and I can see why.
this is
I
their
can see
lowest rated paid
why.
preview.
I see why, because you want to know why? Because they're getting 900,000 views. They're getting their rating, and this is why I always say ratings don't mean shit, because you're getting 900,000 people. That is fucking great. But if those 900,000 people are not buying the pay-per-view, why? What's the point? That's the whole point of this business in general, is to make money. That's business 101. So if they are not happy, I can see why, because they're like, well, gee, we're getting 800, 900,000 people on TV, and I'm only getting maybe 5% of that in pay-per-view buys, which doesn't help that, like, they don't, it's not like they have they're running it through Bleacher, And the problem is they're running an old pay-per-view model in a new world where you have the WWE network that has pay-per-views for $10 a month. You have the Zone that does boxing pay-per-views for $20 a month. You have UFC, ESPN Plus, UFC. You got even what's the Fight TV, which is fucking free, and all they do is and you can just buy pay-per-views off that. I feel like putting it on Fight TV would have helped them, but since they got an exclusive deal with Bleacher Report, it doesn't help. So I get where they're coming from if they say that it's disappointing.
So you think if they had more of a mainstream venue like Fight Network that it would be they would get more views?
Yeah, because it's a stretch to tell people, hey, come to Bleacher Report to watch our pay per view.
It's a little odd, a Bleacher Report website for paid preview.
Exactly. That's very odd. So I could see I could get a bit of I could see trepidation for it. I could totally see it. I understand the trepidation. Like, why would I go through all these hoops to get the pay per view when WWE Networks give me the $9.99? You know what I mean? Or I got Fight TV where I can watch Impact Wrestling on it. I can watch ROH on it for free. You see what I'm saying? So I get it.
I don't know, Daddy.
And on cue, always ready to talk about AEW, Mitch Mayhem has joined us.
Hey, I knew it. See?
What's up, everybody?
I told you, I said if we talk about AEW and he's not there, he's gonna be pissed.
Funny enough, but we just got done with the show, so Scooter show. Yeah.
I don't understand why you have to cover Friday Night SmackDown on Saturday. It makes literally no sense to me.
What do you mean? What? Very funny. Yes. I had to catch on to that.
I saw that coming.
Very funny. Yeah. Kayfabe. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. He should be coming in a second. I thought he beat me in here, honestly.
We're talking about AEW Full Gear. The show as a whole. What did you think?
That was a solid pay-per-view to start. Besides All Out and all those other shows, it's the first standalone pay-per-view. So it's a good start. They can get better and they will, but they need different. I don't like some of their talent. Like personally, Brandon Cutler. I don't Michael Nakazawa. I feel like they just waste room for someone who deserves it more. But you can't.
You need your jobbers.
Hold on, yes, pretty much. But there's others that are really good that could take the jobber spot easily. So, or not jobber spot, just losing every now and then, but not looking like frickin' James Ellsworth.
Well, we did not talk about James Ellsworth on this
podcast. Oh, okay. He used to be the stereotypical jobber, is what I mean.
Right.
So, yeah.
And on cue, Scooter Just has joined the chat.
What's up? What's going on?
What it do, Buckaroo?
We are talking about AEW Full Gear. Could you tell us what your thoughts of the paid preview as a whole was?
It was good. I wouldn't call it the pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
It had its ups and downs. I think AEW is still trying to find their sea legs in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, they're still a very young company.
It was. Yeah, it was a decent pay-per-view. You can't say, I don't think you could say anything bad about it. At the same time, I don't think you could say it was exceptional.
Right. Like
See,
maybe a
that's
high
what-
quality episode of Dynamite.
Yes, that puts it perfectly.
Well, let's get into it. The Young Bucks lost to Proud and Powerful Ortiz and Santana. Pretty solid opener. Maybe went a little too long, but there was a lot of good moments in this show, in this match. I mean,
Yeah, and I thought this match was like, and from the way that I was looking at it, it was basically, to me, it was meant to pull the ruthlessness out of the Young Bucks, like to try to put them in a certain place that they never been before. That, or at
Oh,
least
they've
that's,
been there. They just, you mean for
I'm talking about.
like first time
As
in a
far as
while or on TV.
yeah, because you're looking at it like the Bucks, yeah, ROH, it's TV, but it's not like
Not
pay per
really.
view. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Not many people see it, right?
But this is the first, like, I would say to me, this is the, other than like Generation Me when they were in Impact, this is the first like feud where it feels personal. It doesn't feel like it's a straight up I'm a better tag team than you are. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that goes a lot. So to me, that has to bring out a different element to
Well,
the Young Bucks.
yeah, AEW. What the one thing they're doing exceptionally well is putting a spotlight on their tag team division. They're highlighting the tag team division sometimes more than the singles division. So
Oh,
they're setting themselves apart. There's a difference. They're not just a copycat version like TNA kind of was. Like like WWE Light back in the day, they would get all the leftovers from WWE right when they got released, stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
sidetracking from the actual match for just 1 second. They got a new set, which was great because I was kind of getting sick of that chandelier gimmick they had for a while.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought that was just for All In or All Out, one of those. And
Yeah, who
I didn't
remembers?
think. But it was Las Vegas, so it looked like a casino thing. So when
Yeah,
I
like a
saw it on
Elvis
the
thing.
next show, I was like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, I
Yeah.
was confused. So.
And
Hey,
I
man.
believe this is the first time they had a catwalk to the ring.
No, I mean, maybe an extended like an old WCW style
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think about those catwalks? I've never really been a fan of them.
No, because you could accidentally slip on a move and go, it's not. I don't like it personally.
I mean, they're reminiscent of the old WCW days.
Right.
Yeah, and it brought a little bit of nostalgia, and
Definitely.
like most likely they're only going to do it at the the pay-per-views.
I've never connected with those with the catwalk because it kind of feels like your superstars is above the crowd. And like
Right. Yeah, like for the nostalgia feel, that's great. I'm just saying, like as a wrestler, I personally, I've wrestled like on one kind of like that one time. I didn't like it because you got to be right on everything. If you're a quarter inch off this way or that way, it could go wrong if you do it out on the.
The actual idea behind that catwalk goes back to the idea of a battle royal match that if you were if you were eliminated and you landed there, you were not considered eliminated.
And that's a good idea. I like that idea, kind of like, but you gotta, it needed to be fleshed out. You needed something like it needed to be like not just that; it needed to be regulated better. But there's something there. The idea of it.
So, and this is why you James feel different because Mitch and I grew up watching that platform on WCW pay-per-views. So when that platform was there, we knew it was a WCW event, and you knew it was a WCW pay-per-view. So
that's a good point.
It really was I think more for aesthetics than anything else.
Yeah.
Kind of like to
But-
separate themselves.
But it,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like when you see that, it stands out. Definitely, you don't mistake it for another wrestling show. You know what it is. So yeah.
Got it.
Alright, during the match, Santana drew Matt Jackson into the Rock and Roll Express, who surprisingly has been all over the place in this last year. Like 2019 might have been the
NWA, yeah,
biggest
MLW,
year
NWA. Yeah.
of the Rock and Roll Express's career.
Yeah,
I-
Hall of Fame. Fucking
I-
yeah.
Since the 80s. Since the 80s.
I
Since
mean,
the
I
80s,
find
yeah.
it funny that they're the targets of two members of the former LAX, and then they're fighting on the side
That's right.
of the other two members of LAX.
in NWA.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's getting a piece of them. WWE's like, hey, come in our Hall of Fame. NWA's like, hey, come back and have this nostalgia. AEW's like, hey, introduce these new tag teams. So it's like, they're winning right now.
New
I will
Japan.
say that.
But there's just so many good wrestling federations around that could, like MLW, then you got NWA popping up. NWA's taking the cake for me. I love Power, dude. That's a great show. But so there's a lot of companies that can use them, and the money's right, they'll
Yeah.
be there.
I mean, hey, as long as they keep getting them checks. Keep getting them checks, Rock and Roll
Exactly.
Express. Keep getting them checks, baby.
But they still can't fix that damn lazy eye.
I think
Hey,
he's
Michael
just maybe
Strahan,
Hey,
it's for character.
The
It's
HBK
character.
Club.
Damn.
The HBK Club, yeah.
It's character.
Yeah, they might be in their 70s, but they're winning in life.
Exactly.
They
Right,
probably, but they're already. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, given Ricky's battle with his ex-wife over child support.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
They probably battled their bladders every day. I heard,
Wow.
Sorry, I
Wow,
had to go.
that
mean,
was harsh.
Bring
to
out the
the
catheters.
I mean, it
Bring out the
depends.
catheters.
I mean, it depends. It depends. It depends on if they have some depends.
I know, right? Hey, if they hitting them moves, they better have the pins on because they could shit themselves. And
And maybe they need a good pair of "Oops, I crap my pants."
you know what I'm saying? Springboard flips, they need the pins. Fucking that shit.
Oh,
goes
so
on.
that's why we see those brown stains in the aftermath of when their match happens. Okay.
Okay. Next match. Hangman Page defeated the Bastard Pac. Not as good as the one on Dynamite a couple weeks ago. Not as good as the one this week on Dynamite as well.
Okay, you're gonna hear something. Yeah, you don't hear me, but you don't listen to me do, which is criticize AEW. I
You
don't
mean
agree.
you have something bad to say?
I often do. Shut up. You see this middle finger? Sit on it and rotate, champ. But anyway.
Hold on, flashing news, breaking news.
Yeah. But no, I think you should have gone with Pac in this. I really do. Pac is a badass, and it could have led to the next pay-per-view, Pac versus Jericho.
True.
I think they got bigger plans for Jericho.
Or a triple threat where you get a heel or face in there.
Well, I kind of felt this, Hangman Page is one of their up-and-coming baby faces.
Okay.
And they've been kind of treating him badly. So
They've been tossing him the pot. They've been tossing his ass.
Yeah, so give him a when-I paid preview against the guy that's been antagonizing you.
But you gotta
at that
understand, he's
moment,
young
it makes
and
sense. But,
he's young and oh, sorry.
But what I'm saying is, at that moment, it made sense to me. Hey, but going to Wednesday, spoiler alert, Pac and Hangman had a rematch, and Pac won. So it just made Hangman look more like shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think like he's still young. I think he's like 27 or 28, and like there's people that have broken their back and done things. They deserve they've been doing this for a lot longer and probably have more credit given to them at this point. But he'll get it. His best friends run the freaking company, so he'll get there. The fact that he's already in that spot at this point in his career says a lot. So he's fine.
Next match, Sean Spears beat Joey Janela. This was, I thought, was just a nice warm down match from the last two really long high pop matches.
And one that Sean Spears needed a win fucking. He's been needing these wins badly, yo. They've been doing him like. There's one person they did him dirty.
Really bad.
They did him the dirtiest, boy. That boy.
But they have given him the old La Parka gimmick, the chairman.
I mean, you might as well go get La Parka. He's in AAA.
No, I'm just saying he's the AEW chairman now. Yeah.
Unless your name is La Parka, nobody else is the chairman except maybe Vince McMahon.
I'm of that era. I love La Parka, so that gets to me too. I don't think they should have done that.
So could I call him La Parka Blanca?
You can do whatever you want to keep punching, my guy.
Speaking of La Parka, the Lucha Bros and Private Party lost to SCU in a triple threat tag team match.
Made sense. SCU.
Right.
I love, especially. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you out there, Kaliko. Go ahead.
No. Go for it, because I was gonna say it made sense with SCU winning, but go for it.
No, I was just gonna say Scorpio Sky deserves it, and let alone. I mean, I think Scorpio Sky and Christopher Daniels, they all deserve it, but those two especially, in my opinion. And I like it. I'm cool with it. So, and they have favor with the Young Bucks, so it doesn't surprise me.
As much as I love SCU and Lucha Bros, I'm really liking Private Party at this time. I think that they're really a good tag
They're
team.
awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
And
they're a fresh new act too. So yeah, that's going for them as well.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the match, Scooter?
I mean, it was a decent match. I think you can always expect great things out of Private Party. I
haven't had a bad match yet.
I think they might be the actual next
the future,
the team that's sought out by by all the companies. I think they're the breakout stars.
Okay, but now AEW, it's on AEW to lock them up. But anyway.
Wasn't Private Party contacted by WWE, but they went with AEW?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I know that's true for LAX. I know that.
I'm sure.
I
know that. Yeah, that's true for LAX.
That's true for LAX. I do remember them.
Maybe I'm just getting confused. All right. Now it's time for the match of the night, the barn burner, the match that everybody's talking about. Riho beats Sakura.
Oh my God! Match of the century. That was the best match since LSU Alabama. I ain't seen.
Hey!
No, you know what? No, Scooter said it perfectly. Like when he said, "I didn't know Margaret Cho was wrestling." That was great.
Oh my God! I'm gonna step into a wrestling ring.
That was great.
Margaret Cho, this 2020.
But dude, no, she's got a punch belly, and she don't look like a wrestler at all, and she don't look like a wrestler in her moves either, to me. But yeah, it has to do with personality. It's all about personality. It has nothing to do with their wrestling acumen, and that's what it pisses me off.
I think, but that's their Achilles heel.
Friends with Kenny.
The women's division is their Achilles heel, though.
Because Kenny is running it, and he's giving it to his Joshi wrestling women friends, not the ones who really deserve it, like the Bea Priestleys and the
Britt Bakers.
and the
And the
awesome Kongs.
And the Nyla Roses.
Nah.
I get. Yeah.
Go ahead. What?
Well, I heard somebody say,
Kaliko, you. Oh, okay.
yeah, I heard somebody said that maybe AEW shouldn't really have a women's division at all, considering who they have
No,
right
they just
now.
gotta do it right, man. They
Damn.
It's like you can't do it because someone likes certain people. It can't be a popularity contest. That's what pisses me
Well, I
off.
see what they're trying to do because they're trying to get an inroad into Japan because they see that a lot of the
But dude, okay.
great, as far as like women's wrestling, because
Do
you
you
got to
know
think
how
about it.
crowded it is now with Bushiroad buying Stardom and that being the New Japan NPW's women's division now?
Let me
But that was
rephrase
my
the question.
that's my
They're
point.
gonna take a lot of them away. They already have.
But that was my point. But you got to think about it. Before that, WWE is literally hoarding them. So
Right, and there's not. I
trying to.
wouldn't be focusing on them. I'd go elsewhere because that pool is basically empty at this point already.
Let me
but
rephrase the
it's-
question a little bit. If the
Yeah.
current women's roster that they have right now, would you rather see that women's division or no division at all in AEW?
If they, instead of going after Rio or highlighting Rio and Sakura, it would highlight Awesome Kong and B Priestley or girls like that. Women wrestling. It's just I don't like Rio and Sakura and the others.
They should replace it with the AEW Home Economics Division.
Wow.
and just have them, cooking and cleaning, and because we're gonna see the same 6 dang women over and over and over and over again.
I just feel like
he's going to bring in more Joshi women who no one's ever heard of, and I don't like Rio. Sorry.
No, I just felt like they should have just maximized off the fact that everyone in the wrestling world knows that Britt Baker is Adam Cole's wife. Why not capitalize it and make her the face and make it a rivalry?
Here's the problem with that, real quick. The night they debuted, did you see what NXT did? They did a smart thing. They played a exhibition match that Britt Baker had with one of I forget who it was in NXT. And it was basically a dark match that she jobbed out, and they played that match on when they were going head to head with AEW. So like Britt Baker was on 2 shows at once. Yeah, and they made her look shitty, man. Oh man.
Well, it was
smart.
It was a
dirty
job match to begin with that she had. I remember
that
match.
Say it again?
I remember that match that she had where she jobbed on NXT.
Right, and they played it right when they were going up against AEW and something. I forget exactly what it was, but yeah, they like took out time and everything to play that old match. That's telling you something. They went out of their way.
Yeah, that to me gives you the bigger idea why they should have did it, because it's like it's not where you were.
It's dirty, but it's smart.
It's dirty, but to me, it's not about where you were; it's where you at. They could show the old matches of Tessa Blanchard jobbing the fucking Alexa Bliss, but fucking that's not who Tessa Blanchard is now. You know what I mean? To show the difference.
Maybe I'm old school, but like if I were in WWE shoes of like negotiating these contracts, you got to be able to have decent relationships with these people going for what happens if something goes wrong and she gets out of her contract and wants to come to WWE. You don't want to burn those bridges before that happens. So you got to keep the bridges open like that.
Oh man, as long as Adam Cole is still in WWE, she's got a
especially because of that. But don't be jamming on her. That's not. I mean, it just. I don't know. Personally, it's just about personal decorum. I guess. I don't know. I was always taught that. It goes on personal. It has to do between each person, though. I guess.
All right, let's get to the next match. Chris Jericho beat Cody Viva Stat Bitch. This was pretty brutal. I saw that move that Cody did out on the ramp, the catwalk. And the
which move? To be specific.
The
He
one
tried to
was,
dive over the top rope. He tried to
Oh.
pull the Undertaker move,
right.
Oh,
the
okay.
springboard plunge, and just woo.
And the first time I saw him do that, the live, it kind of looked like he broke his neck. And I was legitimately concerned. And then when he lifted up his face and he was bleeding, I said, okay, he's fine.
That's funny.
Went from oh my god he's dead. Oh, he just got
Oh,
stitches.
he's bleeding.
You're
He
good.
must be
You're
fine.
good.
Yeah.
No long-term ramifications. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I mean, the
He's
Rhodes
moving. He's
brothers.
screaming in pain, so he must be okay enough. If
I
he's
mean,
screaming.
the Rhodes brothers. They have to have appointments to the blood bank. They've shed so much blood in this company so far.
Dude, I'm sure people accidentally, like one or two, got like hepatitis or something from. Like I've heard, yeah, like that was a weird thing.
I
But
don't think-
blood was way too apparent.
I don't think Cody hasn't had a match where he hasn't been busted open.
As far as you know, you can work that stuff. You
I
can
mean,
do it
WWE.
without it really being. You can like use packets and stuff. They do that every now and then when they don't want to break skin. But Cody does it the hard way. I like that. I would prefer that personally.
Either way, when I see like that move that he did on the outside, that dive, he legitimately hurt his ribs. That was
Yeah,
legit.
yeah. They play hard, man. They don't joke around. I get it.
And my focus was taken off of that because he was in blood, and I kind of just assumed that he was all right because it was just a spot in the match that he busted himself open. But if they would have maybe played up that rib injury a little bit more and say, oh, well, this is legit and have no blood, I think that would have been more dramatic.
I mean, with the blood, it adds like he's giving it his all.
But
So that's what they really want
every
to go
single
for.
match he's been in so far.
I mean, that's his thing. He's the storytelling, emotional hook guy. That's his thing.
Dusty 2.0?
Pretty much. I mean, but to me, as much as people, I feel this match was overshadowed, to be quite honest. I mean, if this is the AEW match, this should be the main event, but it wasn't. And another thing got there, and it, that's a whole nother thing.
But the main story of this, of all of this is MJF finally turned on Cody, kicking him in the balls.
I think it was really
Steve-
abrupt and out of nowhere. They should have played it out more, man. It was
Stevie
like
Wonder
so
saw
sudden.
that shit coming.
It was so sudden though, because I thought they were gonna do it at All Out or maybe even not like even before that when he came out with DDP and like when he was Cody's Entourage. Maybe that was all the way last year. Yeah, that might have been last year. But yeah. So I thought it was gonna happen a long time ago, and then when it didn't happen for a while, I thought it was going to be played out properly, but then they just all of a sudden abruptly did it. So
I mean, if you've been watching them, then you kind of know that this has been building for about a year. Maybe
I think it was supposed to happen a long time ago, and they played it out longer because anyone could have seen that coming, and they just wanted to be like, "When's it gonna happen?" They wanted people to be on their toes about it.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Stevie Wonder could have saw that shit coming.
Right, but we saw it coming for like a year and a half, so you didn't know when, but you knew. Yeah, we all saw it coming. You'd have
Anything
to be
we want to add before we get on to the next match?
No, I'm good.
All right. Jon Moxley defeated Kenny Omega in a lights out match. This was a proper death match, which Moxley is known for.
Is he though?
Well, yeah.
I don't think that match is known at all.
They played his CZW footage before the match, so
yeah.
I mean, this is what these are the kind of matches he wanted to have, but couldn't have in WWE.
Well, he just wanted more creative control. He trusts himself, as you should, after you've done this for so long. When you have people try to write a script for you, it's kind of insulting. So it's just to let him have his own creative free reign is all it is, really.
Well,
If that's what he wants to do, whatever, man. If the other dude agrees to it too, that's on them. That's what they
I
want
like
to
the
do.
match. I thought it was a good match.
No, it was. I have no complaints. I mean, they can go overboard, definitely. And I think Kenny just, like in that match with Moxley, just did all of that because Moxley wanted to, I bet you. I bet you, like anything, that he just wanted to seem tough enough to John, to Mox. Like, oh yeah, okay, no problem. But deep down, he didn't want to do that shit.
Before we... Go.
To me, I will say this. To me, that should have been an ender, a feud-ending match type
Thank
of
you. What
style.
happened with that bed of barbed wire was, if that happened in the 80s or 90s, that person would have never come back. They would have been like in kayfabe in a wheelchair or some shit.
I just felt like that should have been a feud ender, and
Yeah.
and spoiler alert, based on Wednesday, it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
I
like.
agree with you,
So
man.
you do all that fighting, but yet they're going to end up seeing each other again.
It softens the impact of what you do. So you do all that damage to someone's body in your own, and it doesn't get
Exactly.
half as much play out of them anymore. Yeah.
Exactly.
You get
That to me, they just
I
blew
see
their
that
load
too.
with it.
Yep.
Not to mention that there was never really a solid foundation as to why they hated each other, other than maybe Moxley saying, "I want to prove a point by going up against your biggest star." But like, we didn't see like Kenny Omega kick
No,
John Mox's dog and make it personal.
I liked it because I think just it's his sheer energy, just the way he comes off and the energy he puts off. That he like I saw the story they were going for. It like if you miss little things here and there, then you might not see it. But I saw it.
Well, no, they had a good foundation for a match, but maybe not that extreme of a match is the best way to put it.
They could have built on it more, but
Right.
this is a very young company, and you gotta, they're growing, they're getting better in all these facets, but you can only expect so much, Can't you can't expect them to be perfect on everything. They're still growing.
Alright, now we have to talk about the commentary. This was maybe the worst commentary since Fight for the Fallen. I just
Commentary was good. I mean, it is what I mean, you know who it is now, so it's not new.
it's not new, but it kind of seemed like they never knew what direction they were going in. It kind of always seemed like they had no idea what was going on in the ring. And during the John Mox Omega match, the glass, and I put air quotes glass, has totally got botched by JR, who said that it was ice. If you guys caught
But
that.
I guess they're just trying to keep it to where like the announcers don't know, so they'll have the nostalgia feeling to it and letting them wing it.
I just felt like Tony Schiavone has been kind of captaining that ship for a while.
Or I think they just want to be family friendly and like say family friendly, references. I don't know. It could be.
But they
I mean, they're TV 14. Ain't no damn family friendly with it.
One of those
but
superstars is
that's
called the Bastard.
JR's old, JR's got old sensibilities, but yeah. So what were you saying, sir?
What I was saying was one of those superstars is called the Bastard.
Right. No, I'm saying that not the company, but JR, his own instincts are like grandfatherly, you know?
Yeah.
He is.
Alright, and that concludes our coverage of AEW Full Gear. And now we will head on to the Wednesday night we are wrestling with. The Wednesday night was week 7. Can't believe we're 2 months into this shit, but we are. What did you think of both shows, Kaliko?
Uh, NXT was the better show this week because it was building a story towards Survivor Series. And the fact that they're doing the NXT SmackDown Raw versus thing kind of brings more of the chaos into it. So you don't know. It makes you want to watch it because you don't know who the hell's coming out of nowhere.
And Rich Mayhem.
Yeah, you didn't ask which ones we watched in order this week, because shocker, I haven't even watched AEW yet. I watched NXT with Scooter.
What? Really? Well,
Because that's what we were covering.
dude, I knew you were sick, but I mean, my God.
Yeah,
So you've been going to the hospital? Do you have a
very
fever?
funny. Yeah.
So you haven't actually watched AEW Dynamite yet?
I saw the highlights, like of what happened. I
I
didn't
can't
watch the
wrap my
full
head
show.
around that. I'm shocked. What about you, Scooter? Did you watch?
Well, I watched NXT, yeah, but I had AEW on my second screen.
So
And
yeah.
NXT did have the more interesting show, given what went down on NXT with the two big friggin' injuries, which kind of blew my mind in a way. But the fact remains that this should have been the most important episode of Dynamite for AEW, as should every show following a pay-per-view. This is the Dynamite that fans, hardcore fans, will judge them on whether or not they can capitalize on any momentum they've gained.
They had a little
since from the pay-per-view. And the fact is, AEW just grounded to a friggin' halt. Took everybody out of the element of, oh, I want to see what they're gonna do next, and they don't do a damn thing.
I can't argue.
Could you give me an example of that on the show?
Okay.
There's little things here and there I see too.
Okay. One good thing. Okay, maybe not such a good thing. Yeah, Moxley should not have been on the show 4 days later.
But you know how stubborn he is. He's not going to
okay, that's good. Why didn't it play into the character?
Yeah, you're right. It should have.
He was not selling.
You're right. It should have.
His injuries suffered, in the match. And then he just goes and decides to throw an open challenge because he's got nothing else to do. Okay, moving on. The main event for the AEW Tag Team titles. Okay, good moment for SCU. Great. Awesome. How does the show end? With Chris Jericho throwing a bitch fit about not winning the tag titles despite being the AEW champion. This is not what should have happened. They should have started building the next contender. And yes, I understand that AEW is going to be doing their pay-per-views quarterly, and they have time to do it. Okay, yes, but they should have started laying the groundwork immediately. This is not a time to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. This is the time where you gotta build your main event scene and solid upper mid card, and just ingrained in the fans' minds that these are the top guys. Okay, I get that AEW is trying to have a sense of, oh, anybody can be the next possible contender, and win-loss records matter, but they literally threw their own rules by the wayside and just delivered a very lackluster show.
I see your point, and it's a very well spoken point. I can't argue with, but I see where you're coming from.
That is an interesting point that you made, Hank. But I actually enjoyed the AEW show. I thought what they had squash matches, which they've never had before.
Real quick though, I think every week AEW was the better show. Maybe the first week it was really almost even, but every other week was AEW was better, except this week. NXT was the better show this week,
Well,
in my opinion.
and okay, and that may be saying something considering that you only caught highlights of NXT.
No, but from what I saw,
Right.
it looked like the better show was NXT because I liked NXT this week. And usually, I just the atmosphere of AEW, regardless, I like it. And it looked like it was a good show. I just think NXT finally got the edge up.
The whole idea of they should have been focusing around the title picture. Instead, the biggest moment the from Dynamite was revolving around the guy that said he didn't want the show to revolve around him.
Yeah.
It revolved around Cody
Come on, we all saw that
being
coming.
attacked by by Wardlow.
He says that they're doing this to make a change in wrestling, and then he says, "Oh yeah, I love nepotism," just to give his own friends all of the opportunities.
Well, in my personal opinion, I thought that NXT, other than the ladder match, didn't really do it for me. I kind of felt like they should have built a little bit more around um the Survival Series, and they were building
They
more towards Takeover, which is fine.
well,
But
well, that's the thing. If you looked at the whole show, it was integrated because to me, and that's why I liked NXT better because they know they have a takeover and they got those same people. It's like they have to deal with their own feuds and settle that shit, but then they have to kind of put that shit to the side because they got other people jumping in their backyard. And to me, that is like compelling. Like, you know how much it takes for fucking Ciampa to be like, I want to whoop your ass and take that title, but I gotta also represent NXT for fucking Survivor Series. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like,
right.
it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type shit, and that's what I like about Survivor Series this year.
Oh, dude, I'm actually amped up for Survivor Series this year, and I haven't been looking forward to a show besides like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. So I'm looking forward to this year's Survivor Series, definitely.
And I kind of feel, AEW, they kind of, not entirely, but they're building up their new rivalries. Sure, John Mox had a match, but it was only a 2-minute squash match against Michael Nakazawa. I don't think anybody saw him putting any
God,
damage on Mox,
bad.
even as bad as he was.
But for every rivalry you say that was built, I can point to Cody Rhodes coming out and beating up on Chris Jericho right after he can't fight for the title.
Right. And
So
If that wasn't Chris Jericho, or Chris Jericho didn't have the pull he had, Cody would be the damn world champion. But
Oh
anyway.
yeah, without doubt. I thought it was a good, and I thought that was actually a good way to bring in what's his name, Warlow?
Wardlow.
Low.
Warlow.
Wardlow.
Not to be
Wardlow.
confused with Warlord.
Mitch, what did I say?
Exactly.
What did I say on Wednesday?
You called it.
I thought that was a pretty smart. That was a pretty
I think-
smart way to bring him in with the tie that had the
That's funny
exact
as
same matching pattern as MJF's a scarf. I loved the brawl between the Young Bucks and Pride and Powerful. I thought that was a great brawl. I don't think and I've never asked you these questions before, but when NXT and AEW go to commercial break and they have that little picture-in-picture, do you guys usually speed it up or do you actually watch that little picture-in-picture?
Depends.
Well, since it's usually live, I usually watch it. I mean,
Well, what I mean when you're not doing the remix, when you're just watching casually.
I don't watch it casually.
Okay then.
I don't.
What about you, Mitch? Okay, we lost Mitch. So yeah, it
I'm
was.
sorry, I'm back.
Oh, there you. Do you watch?
No, but I was just gonna say I watch it. Recently, I watched it when Scooter watches it, so I've been watching it for kind of a job myself. So
Yeah.
But if you had the option to speed it up, would you?
do I say again?
If you had the option to speed it up, would you?
I can do it without. It's not a big deal to me.
All right.
Depends on
Well,
if I tell him to.
Fuck you. You go.
I
Fucking shove a
usually
car up
speed
your ass.
up. I usually speed through those picture-in-picture boxes, but I actually stayed for that brawl between LAX and the Young Bucks. Because I just thought it was a really good brawl, and a lot of unexpected things happened. Especially
Mhm.
seeing Orange Cassidy in the toilet.
Was that a toilet or was that a closet?
No, I think
I'm
it
not
was a
even
toilet.
sure.
No, it was a toilet. He was just standing
How do you
in
get
the
How do you
toilet.
get those two mixed up?
Well, was he like?
Was
'Cause
there
you couldn't-
shit in that closet?
You couldn't see an actual like toilet in there. It's like he was waiting for like a Craigslist hookup.
Oh,
Oh,
Like, hey, are you are you
you're
I don't
purring.
know, I can't think of a clever, perverted screen name for, Orange Cassidy. So
because nothing rhymes with orange.
are you Banana Hammock?
What the fuck? No, that's like
Are you
Marcus
anal
Alba.
gaper? Are you anal gaper 69?
Jesus Christ! You did, God.
And we're still waiting for
If
Roscoe from Uranus.
if telling terrible jokes was a crime, you get the death penalty.
That was funny. Shut up, man. I thought it was funny.
So yeah, Jobbermania on AEW. We had Michael Nakazawa, Marco fucking Stunt,
Nakazawa.
Orange Cassidy, Peter Avalon. They brought out all the jobbers.
God, it's like
The jobber parade.
it's like a mid-90s Raw.
Hey, some of those jobbers were over.
Which ones? The 1, 2, 3.
Barry
kid?
Horowitz, baby. Bring out Barry
Yeah,
Horowitz.
Barry Horowitz, the 1, 2, 3 kid, and Sparkplug Holly. That's about it. That's about it.
No, I'm talking about guys like Louis Spicoli and
Oh yeah, he didn't even make it.
That was my next guest.
He was bigger in WCW, funny enough. Yeah.
Alright, that okay, I wanted to talk about the ratings. And we didn't talk about Mia Yim's injury on NXT.
Oh
That
Uh,
man,
was
that was nasty, dude.
and
Holy
Tainara's
shit. Oh yeah. Oh,
pretty much
you mean
called
Aaliyah?
Aaliyah, yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, Aaliyah. The same thing. What was the remark I made, Mitch, about Aaliyah?
Oh, what was which one?
She's
Where's
dropping
my
to jobbers.
No, it's I was like, oh man, 17 years ago. How many years? Yeah, 17 years ago.
Oh, the wrong Aaliyah. Yeah.
The wrong Aaliyah went down in a plane crash.
That was brutal, but funny as shit.
Damn, that's fucked up. Why you gotta put Aaliyah in this,
Yeah, it was
man?
brutal. It was brutal, but it was funny as fuck.
But to see, she chose, like, I mean, yeah, okay, she was in shock, so maybe her body
She was
couldn't
in
react.
shock, totally.
But
From the
she
sight of the blood, I think.
like she literally, like, if it was anybody else, they would have at least like kicked out and just gone
Yeah,
gone to the go home spot.
she
Right.
definitely got shit for that.
She
Definitely.
did. Mia Yim. And I'm not a big Mia Yim fan. I've expressed
I
that on the
love
Oh,
show
Mia Yim,
before.
dude. I love Mia Yim.
And I legitimately felt bad for her because that was a nasty bump she took.
What?
She
Real
suffered
quick,
a
why don't?
nasal fracture.
Yeah, why don't you like Mia Yim though? Just wondering.
What she did to what is his name?
What, a kayfabe storyline thing?
No, what is his name? Can you handle this? What is his name?
Rich Swan.
Rich
Oh, it's a
Swan.
real.
Because
Oh,
he
I
got
don't
him
know. I don't
fired,
know
and I was a big
about
Rich
anything
Swan
personal.
fan, so.
But I don't know if it's
All that over Rich
personal.
Swan, man?
I have no idea if it's something that had like personal happen. I don't know.
I mean,
Oh,
it-
about the
Domestic abuse.
Yeah.
with Sue Young, but that's had to do with Sue Young.
That was Sue Young?
Sue Young
Yeah.
is Rich Swan's
Girl,
wife.
yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
Mia
wife.
Yim.
Yeah.
no.
No,
Mia
Mia
Yim was her
Yim.
friend. Was Sue Young's
Mia
friend.
Yim is she's an advocate for domestic abuse because she was
she was beat up pretty
domestically
bad.
abused. Yeah.
So it was Sue Young and not Mia Yim?
Sue Young is the
Yes.
wife, not Mia Yim.
Yeah, Sue Young's the wife, not Mia Yim.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
getting
wrong,
your
wrong,
Asians.
Asian.
Yeah, you say I'm bad with that shit.
So I have heat with Mia Yim for absolutely no fucking reason.
I
Yep.
was
Is
like,
that what
dude,
you're telling
I
me?
love Mia Yim. Why are you shitting on Mia Yim?
I mean, I think it's important to say that after that match, she got a standing ovation.
She's a badass for a
No,
woman. Dude, she's a badass woman.
Nothing gets someone over
Like, yeah.
than showing adversity in the face of
Toughness.
injury.
Yeah.
I
Yep,
mean,
you're
she
right.
she didn't have to take that last spill from Kaylee Ray.
She's a
Which-
fucking trooper, dude.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, she
And-
shouldn't have, but it just shows you, hey, she wanted to finish the match the way that it was supposed to go, and that's what she did.
That's
see-
the heart of a wrestler right there.
Right.
I'm just saying.
See,
You don't quit until you get backstage. Sorry.
The thing here is, I'm wondering if they actually, well, considering they had Kaylee Ray in the back, I was wondering at first if that they changed the finish. Like, if they had something else planned with Dakota Kai turning heel.
The
And
match could have gone longer. I don't think it would have, but I think that was the plan. If they changed it, it was just to shorten it, in my opinion.
I mean, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about the match. I mean, to see those actual like puddles of like blood.
It was nasty.
Not to mention that Mia Yim showed up on SmackDown last night.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
She has
Good.
nasal fraction, and they thought it was a good idea. That was a good idea.
Dude, she's a badass. It like I said, unless she has like where they have proof that she's got a bad injury, she's not gonna stop.
I mean, unless that was just like exaggerated.
Yeah, but it was looked pretty hard to exaggerate that, dude.
I mean, wouldn't somebody like that
bad
have a mask? You know, like, and she just didn't like.
Right.
She also didn't take that. She didn't take that many spots though.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
give the girl a night off. She broke her nasal.
But maybe that's what she wants to do. Maybe she said, "No, don't take me off." You know,
She has a big match coming on this Saturday, next Saturday.
Bro, it's every event is a paycheck that you can lose out on.
But also at the same time, you had Dakota Kai and not Candice LeRae. You had the entire female, entire Team Ripley for War Games show up.
Yeah.
Except for Candice LeRae.
Uh-huh. So, do we think that Mia Yim is actually going to miss War Games, or do we think that she's actually going to make
she'll make it. She's a badass.
She will be there.
All right. And AEW and NXT went up in viewers, both of them. They're doing a good job trying to maintain and growing their fan base, which is good. What I found interesting is that minute by minute viewership from AEW to NXT. When AEW goes to commercial break, NXT viewers go up. When NXT goes to commercial breaks, AEW's audience doesn't go up as significantly as NXT's.
Yeah, I heard a report something like when NXT goes to commercial break, AEW people go to NXT, but NXT watchers don't really go to AEW.
Right.
That's what I've heard.
And you think that's just hardcore WWE fans, or?
Yeah, it's wrestling fans. The NXT and WWE's been around a lot longer, man. So definitely.
Me personally, I think it's a problem because they're fighting for the same audience and neither are expanding the audience that they have.
Well, here's the thing. I think there's a lot of people who are casuals who will watch when there's a big event. They just don't watch all the time. So you got to get them to watch. You got to.
We were just talking about that because we were talking about the pay-per-view buys for AEW, and it's 100,000. We were like, no, that's nothing to sneeze at. 100,000.
That's not horrible.
But he was saying, James was saying AEW was disappointed, and I was like, I could see why if they're pulling in 900,000 and they only getting like 5% of that.
Their TV numbers are way better than their pay-per-view numbers. But this economy, you got to understand that.
I attributed that to because they chose Bleacher Report, Vice.
That
dealing with
like
with a DAZN or Fight TV.
Because they're not a very big It's kind of hard.
Right. It's making people go out of their way to look for it.
When you have to go out of your way, it's a lot. Yeah. Yep. You're right.
All right. That ends our coverage of the Wednesday Night Wars, and now we are wrestling with NXT Takeover War Games preview. There was actually only 3 matches, so this is going to go quickly.
We'll see about that. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we'll see, because
War Games match. Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and what was her name? Kylie Ray. Kaylee Ray. Versus Rhea Ripley,
here we go again.
LeRae, Mia Yim, and Tegan Knox.
I would think Team Baszler, right?
There's our mascot.
Yep. What about you, Mitch?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear. Say that again.
Team Baszler or Team Ripley?
I'm going with Team Baszler.
What about you, Scooter?
I honestly can't pick.
Oh wow.
Uh, because they're building these teams to such a degree that I really don't know who is gonna walk out. I mean, yeah, it's usually typical for the face team to walk out of war games, the victor, but
But this is
both.
different. Yeah.
I mean, given that it really seems uh, Ripley's team is gonna be the one representing uh, NXT at Survivor Series. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go Team Ripley.
Real quick, I like I said, Mia Yim's my favorite women's wrestler. So it's a difference between what I want to happen and what I think will happen. So.
I'm going with Rhea Ripley's team as well. Alright, the men's War Game match, Undisputed Era versus Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and Julia Hill's.
I mean, by
they had to take Riddle out of that.
Yeah, that fourth man.
I don't like Dijakovic.
Gargano, right?
No, Gargano is out.
He's out, injury.
It's either him or Velveteen.
Velveteen's out too.
Well, damn, they're really thin.
They're probably gonna get a WWE guy.
I've said this theory to Mitch on Wednesday. I think the fourth man is going to be Mansoor.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Taka Michinoku.
And I laughed at him. I hope
I would believe it. But he goes back in the vault after those shows.
I hope that Scooter is wrong. God, I hope he's wrong.
I have a theory as well. The fourth man in the War Games match will be Savio Vega.
Oh, go piss off already.
See, I thought it was gonna be Taka Michinoku. There goes my fucking.
Indeed. So yeah, I'm going with Undisputed Era for this one. What about you, Kaliko?
Undisputed Era, depending if Adam Cole is in the triple threat match or not, because he's had literally the hottest 2-week stretch of any wrestler.
He would have to be because Braun is in his own match.
I mean, and considering the fact that Brock is defending against Mysterio, and it was just announced last night that Daniel Bryan will face Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. Spoiler alert!
Big match.
Ooh, throwback!
Yeah, that's gonna be a great match.
Spoiler alert! The Universal Championship is now blue.
They changed the colors.
Why is that a spoiler alert?
Yeah, I saw that. I love it.
I mean, in case you haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
In case you haven't watched it last night.
Well, excuse me. Maybe me and Kaliko wasn't invited to watch it. Damn it.
I'll let y'all fight for that.
I didn't realize that you needed somebody to invite you to watch it.
Well, I like to be asked, Scooter. Damn it.
Well, I'm also doing a show as well, so.
I feel him. He don't want to just jump in your house and jump in your fridge. I feel him.
And there's a format to the show. Mitch knows this, and if you truly want to, if you really want to get involved, we can go over the specifics at a later time in the immediate future.
How about at the Survivor Series watch? It's going down.
Oh yes.
Which one?
That's Survivor. Well, you guys, of course, are going to join me for Survivor Series.
And I'm happy to be a part of that.
And if you'd like, you can join me for TakeOver.
We will talk about that. But back to the men's world game.
You were just complaining about it.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Damn it.
Well,
I'm
listen,
down.
I'm a busy
I was
man.
just giving you shit. It's just funny. It was funny.
Being with you guys for 4 days out of the week, you know. Okay, men's.
Oh, don't even
Wow.
give me that.
Wow, my feelings are hurt. No, I'm
It's
kidding.
a joke. Men's World Games, Scudo.
You'd be bored to death if it weren't for us.
Men's War Games. Yeah, I can see the Undisputed Era winning, and then I could see something happening where, they all come together and, unite, realizing that, they have to go into Survivor Series, the following night. Like, essentially, War Games is going to be a test of loyalty and mettle. And I mean METTLE.
And
Yeah.
just to me, it makes more sense that Undisputed Era wins the match because they have big matches on the show the next night. Not to mention they lost last year in War Games, so they need to get that win back.
I mean, granted, they were the first ones to win War Games.
I mean,
right. They're the only people in War Games at this point.
I mean, considering we don't know any of the members representing NXT in the 5-on-5-on-5 triple threat elimination match, I mean, this is, I mean, Adam Cole has got to be a part of that team, without a doubt.
He would have to captain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, honestly, this Survivor Series has got me, like you guys have said, I'm really pumped for it. It's got that, that almost old school, Survivor Series feel with all these, all those big elimination matches going back to the, the first ones, the 88 and 89, that literally had a 10 on 10.
It's like it matters again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And SmackDown won't get swept like last year.
Debatable. But I don't know about you guys, but I've always been a huge Survivor Series mark. Out of the top 4, the big 4 paid previews, Survivor Series has always been my favorite.
Mine's always Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that I'm not in a high majority with a lot of wrestling fans, but Survivor Series.
Yeah, I mean, because the Rumble's more unpredictable, and Survivor Series kind of lost the luster. So I get
in recent years, not the best, but still one of my favorites.
I mean, personally, what I think they should do is after Survivor Series, they should have like I don't want to say draft, but a trade, a trading block potentially, to showcase the talent and to let other brands try and claim the other talent and move them to other shows.
Or I just had an idea, real quick. Or why don't you have another, like a Saturday or Sunday show, like kind of a Heat was, like a Sunday Night Heat used to be, and then use those lower tier, just hear me out, use those lower tier guys that aren't being used hardly at all for that show, and get them name recognition before you move them up to the main, kind of like
that's why they have NXT. That's why they have main event.
Well, I'm talking about a more televised, like.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Main event's not seen much. So.
All
Yeah,
right,
they're
let's
not.
get
There's not going to be another.
I know. I'm just saying that's something to look in.
Let's-
We got enough wrestling to catch up with. Damn
I'm
it!
just saying to give people camera time. I'm just saying it doesn't have to. Not everyone has to see it. You know,
All right. Last match on the NXT card: Finn
kind of like the
Balor
real main
versus
event. Yeah.
Matt
Sorry.
Riddle. Kaliko, who's winning?
Balor, because he's the guy that's coming back talking shit. So you better back it up.
Mitch.
I want Matt. I'm a big Matt Riddle mark, so I'm gonna stick with my boy.
Scooter.
I'm gonna say Matt Riddle only because Balor is 41 years old.
What?
Really?
Yeah, he's 41.
No, he's not.
Yes,
Get
he
the
is.
fuck out of
I
here. He's not
guarantee.
40.
No, he's
No.
not. No, he's not. Scooter. No, he's not. I promise you. He's in his 20s.
He's
No,
not in
he's
his 20s.
not.
He's in his
Yes,
30s.
he is. I guarantee you. He's in the or late 20s, early 30s.
He's
Time to
38
solve this
years
Not
old.
once and for
for it.
all.
He's 38.
He's 38.
That's
Damn it! I was gonna
that's
Google it.
more than I thought, but okay, I'll take that.
I
Right,
googled
he's,
him. I
he's
I
got
didn't know.
him.
I didn't think he was older than me.
yeah, he's close. You know, he's getting closer. To that period where wrestlers consider taking less of a schedule, and
Wow.
I think Balor is no longer about claiming the spotlight and essentially going over. I think Balor is there to essentially give legitimacy to NXT superstars. I mean, he won't lose all the time, but I think, unless he pulls out the demon, I don't think Balor's going to win it all.
Plus, he's a recently married man.
True. I think I'm going to go with Balor as well. So that is the conclusion of our predictions. We will have predictions for Survivor Series on next week's show. And in 2 weeks, we will not be doing a Saturday show. We will be doing a Thursday show. Why? Because it's Thanksgiving and we're doing a Survivor Series 1995 watch along. I still think it was a little rigged. I still think Scooter has friends in Russia, but we're going to watch 1995.
What happened? I didn't catch that. What happened?
He wants a redo of the vote because he feels like he got Hillary Clinton out of the fucking vote.
What? Nah, dude.
I mean, we could go back to the votes. I mean, not Survivor Series '97 was only had 6 votes behind, to win the poll.
It's fine. We're respecting the poll and what it did. And we don't have to like the poll, but
Hey,
we
your
respect the
your guy
polls.
doesn't want to do that. If he loses, I guarantee you, he won't leave the damn White House. But anyway.
Unless you got a daughter and you got to keep her off the pole.
Nice.
And I think that's a great way to end the show. So, if you want
Fatherly advice from Kaliko.
father time with Kaliko. Alright, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
And I am Kaliko. This weekend, the giveaway starts. I'm gonna try to look up some quiz questions, bust out like some stuff. I'm gonna try to get people to actually think about these questions. I'll try to keep a theme with them all. So I'm really excited about it. Plus, my wife is too because she wants me to get shit out the house. But yeah, okay.
Mitch Mayhem.
You can find me at Mitch Mayhem X.
Scooter Dust.
You can find me at Scooter Dust and manning the UNB WWE Twitter at WWE on UNB.
And for my co-host Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
I'm afraid no ghost.